Yastyatvaropamadhyam prabhavate jagataha anekadha anugrahaya prakshena klesha rashihi veshama veshadharaha anekavatra subhoge sarvajnana prasutihi bhujagaparikaraha pretaye yasya nityam devo ahesha savomyat sita vimalatanu yogado yogayuktaha yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram muninam Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Avaho purushakaram Shankhachakrasidharinam Sahasrashirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Srimate Anantaya Nagarajaya Namo Namaha Patanjala Mahabhashya Charaka Pratisamskritai Manovakaya doshanam Hatre Ahipataye Namaha Bhashyakrit Sutrakrit Chaphi Nirmalantam Surupinam Dhyataram Shripatir Nityam Patanjalim Namamyaham Bahya Abhyantara Vishayakshepi Chaturthaha Tataha Kshiyate Prakashavaranam Dharanasu cha yogyata manasaha So namaste friends. Last time we were discussing the sutra that defines the framework of pranayama. Bhakya abhyantara stambha vrittihi desha kala sankhyavihi paridrishtaha dirgha sukshmaha. So Patanjali is saying there is one way where we are allowing for the inhale, the exhale and the retention of the exhale, or rather the exhale, inhale and the retention after the breath both exhale and inhale, to be put through different parameters such as Desha, Kala and Sankhya, so that the consequent result is the breath or prana that is long and smooth, Dirgha and Sukshma. However, Patanjali is saying that there exists another dimension of pranayama which is beyond this previously stated framework. And that is what is being described in the sutra, Bhakya Abhyantara Vishaya-akshepi Chaturthaha. So, Vishaya-akshepi Chaturthaha, Bhakya Abhyantara Vishaya-akshepi Chaturthaha. So, normally the mind is usually attached to an object that is either external or internal, because mind has to grasp something. Mind has to always hold something. That is why it is partially under the title called Grahana, a faculty that has to grasp something. Mind has to hold something for its existence. So, Bahya Vishaya, Abhyantara Vishaya. There are some external objects. There are some internal objects. Some moments we are focused on the outside. For example, we are focused on people who are in front of us. We are focused on something that we are seeing, witnessing in daily life, nature, mountain. All these things are called Bahya Vishaya, external objects. But then we are also often preoccupied with internal objects. Our own mental fantasies. We may not be in front of a mountain, but we can imagine a mountain. We may not be in front of a person, but we can imagine that person. Whether we like that person or not like that person, we can imagine such a person. So mind has the capacity to internally visualize and hold an object of focus as well. However, these objects are external or internal. Now, please understand that these external objects or internal objects, they have an impact on the breathing. I'm walking on the street and I meet somebody, I see somebody who has caused great trauma for me in my childhood. For example, let's say one of my school teachers or one of my classmates who bullied me, or one of these kind of people. And I watch them passing by the street. They don't even have to say hello. They're just passing by the same street as I am. When I look at them, it's an external object, my breath becomes very short. It's affected by that. At the same time, when I actually connect with somebody who actually I feel very safe with, who I feel very secure with, and this actually happened yesterday for me. I've been trying to contact my teacher for the last months, but he's been very, very busy because he's taken on more and more responsibility in his spiritual life. I haven't been able to have the chance to see him or connect with him for a long time, and every time I call, the phone is also usually not working because he's usually in places where the signal is not working. So suddenly yesterday when I was going back home, I had the feeling to just call him. And I called, and luckily the line got connected and I could speak only, I could not even see, but still that's a form of engagement. So the moment this conversation happened, suddenly I feel a bit more relaxed. My breath starts to become more relaxed. So all these objects, they have an influence on our breathing, whether we like it or not. You see a beautiful flower, you become very peaceful. You smell it, you become very relaxed, and you see life. You see a beautiful sunrise, so quiet, so beautifully it's coming, you're captured by it. Your breath becomes very calm and quiet. So external objects, they have a very strong impact on our respiration. The same with internal objects. Now I don't have to actually see this person who caused me great trauma. I just imagine or remember suddenly that this person has caused me great trauma. Somehow it gets triggered. For example, I meet somebody for my class and that lady tells me that her name is so and so. It's the same name as my teacher who caused me the trauma. That afternoon I'm thinking about my teacher suddenly. Just the thought can make me feel suffocated. I don't really have to have that person in front of me. This is what is called abhyantara vishaya, internal objects. That's why mind is a klishta sometimes. You imagine something, you remember something, it can still hurt you. You don't need to actually have people hurting us. Just remembering those people is enough to hurt us. We feel suffocated, and mostly it will have an impact on the breath. It may not have impact on other things. For example, if this teacher beat me, I have pain when she beat me, but when I imagine maybe I don't have the physical pain, but I still feel suffocated with my breath. Other things may not get influenced, but the breath will surely get influenced and you get constricted. So there is objects like that are influencing us on a regular basis that affects us. You may want to do pranayama in the morning, you wake up very early to do pranayama, and your neighbor is making a lot of noise. Maybe there is an argument, or maybe my neighbor is a car mechanic, he is beating the car to repair the doors. You get agitated because the mind is agitated by this sound, smell and other things. So what Patanjali is saying is, at the highest level of pranayama, Vishaya Ācārya, these external and internal objects are thrown away, or literally thrown away. That means thrown away from your field. It doesn't mean you throw your traumatizer away, you lift them and throw them into a well or something like that. It doesn't mean that. It means you cast away these kind of thoughts. Then the pranayama, the breath, enters a state called chaturtha. Chaturtha is a double meaning here. That is that which is beyond desha, kala and sankhya. In the previous sutra, it talks about three. Desha, kala and sankhya will lead you to dirgha and sukshma. But there is a fourth way, which is throw away these objects that are influencing you, both positive and negative, but especially the negative ones, because that is what constricts it. But throw away all this, because if you are positively experiencing something, that will affect you negatively. For example, you are smelling a beautiful flower, you are observing it and you are so happy looking at that. I see this with my mother in the garden, always enjoying her flowers. It's positive. But then we have some wonderful people in our street who come and steal that flower. Right in front of our eyes, somebody comes and just grabs that flower and go. Immediately you get angry. So if you have that positive, you will have that negative. Because they are duality. Sukham and Dukkham are a duality. You cannot have one without the other. That's why we need to throw away both. You need to throw away both. Then only you enter this state where it is called Chaturtha. Now, how to understand this? Because mind has to always grasp something. This concept of nothing does not exist in yoga philosophy. Mind has to hold something. So, the implied meaning here, which is coming out of the commentators of great people, is that you need to throw away objects that are external or internal. Which object is neither external nor internal? There is only one object, that is called Ishvara. The Ishvara is transcendent of space and time. Ishvara has a concept that is called Bahirvyapti, Antarvyapti. Antar Bahishcha Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Stitaha. Antarvyapti, Bahirvyapti means external and internal. Just take a simple example. We are inside this room. That means we are not outside this room at this moment. When we leave this class and go outside this room, we are outside the room, we are not inside this room. So we are not transcendent. We are either inside or outside, one of the two. The same with all objects. Most of the objects are either inside or outside. Now that's why there is a very famous saying in English called you can't have the cake and eat it too. The cake is outside, that means it's not yet inside. Once it goes inside, it's no more outside. You cannot eat the cake and still have the cake. It's gone. You can have another cake, but not the same one. So every object is either external or internal. It cannot be transcendent of both. The only object that is transcendent of both is called Ishvara. And therefore, when we are in connection to the Ishvara, when we are in a strong connection to the Ishvara, that is Bhakya Abhyantara Vishayakshepi, because we are replacing external and internal objects with another, let's say, object for the sake of simplicity, that is neither external nor internal, or can be both external and internal. It is something that is transcendent. Now when you are in contact with such an object, your breath will become very quiet and still. That is another way, if you are not willing to engage in pranayama techniques, like inhale and exhale, Ācārya, Shodhana, Surya Vedana, all these kind of things, engage with the connection to Ishvara, your breath will become very, very, very long and smooth. That is called Chaturtaha. The name given to this kind of pranayama is called Kevala Kumbhaka. That means the exhale and the inhale are so long, so smooth, that it doesn't feel that there is an exhale, that there is an inhale. The exhale merges into the inhale merges into the exhale. So it's not a wave, it's more like a line. So it's very smooth. So it feels as if the person is not breathing. So it's called Kevala Kumbhaka. It feels as if the person is not breathing. And that's the symbolic meaning of the word Chaturtaha, because there's another meaning implied here. We can have 4 states of consciousness: Jagrat Avastha, Nidra Avastha, Swapna Avastha, and Turiya Avastha. Jagrat Avastha is the state we are currently in, the awake state. We are awake, we are not sleeping. We are able to engage with the world. Our senses, our mind, their vrittis are active. They are active, they are engaged in one way or the other. Nidra Avastha is when the consciousness has withdrawn into itself, both mind and body are switched off. That is called the Nidra Avastha, that state of deep sleep. There is nothing moving because of tamas. the consciousness is withdrawn into itself. Swapna avastha is that state where consciousness is withdrawn from the body level but not from the mind. That's why you are able to see that movie in your mind when you are having dreams, but you don't have the consciousness in the body. You are still asleep. Somebody is touching you or not, you don't know. Somebody is drinking coffee nearby or not, you don't know. So all the senses are not active outside, but you are seeing this vision in the mind that's in the form of a dream. That's why it's called swapna avastha. The consciousness is withdrawn from the body and senses, but not yet from the mind fully. And that's why it's called dream state. However, turiya avastha, the fourth state, is when sattva is dominant, where the mind is again very quiet. The body and the senses and the mind, they are no more moving. Not because of tamas, but because of sattva. And that happens when we are in connection with that which is not changing. There's only one principle that is not changing. We are all changing. Both Purusha and Prakriti are changing. Prakriti has what is called Rupa Parinama, which means change of form or nature. Your body can change its form, your senses changes its nature, mind changes its nature. It's called Rupa Parinama. Prakriti has what is called Rupa Parinama. Purusha has Bhava Parinama. At one moment, Purusha exists as a Baddha Jiva, trapped consciousness. It's like a bird that is trapped in a cage. So it's in a state of Baddha Avastha. It's trapped. Another time it can be liberated, that is called Mukta Avastha. It can be in a state of liberation, it can feel free. So even Purusha has Parinama, change of Bhava, of feeling, not of form. Because Purusha is also Nirguna, so it cannot change its form. But it can feel trapped or feel liberated, Baddha Avastha or Moksha Avastha. The only principle that is non-changing is Ishvara. Ishvara is neither in a trapped state nor liberated state. Because only if you are trapped, you need to worry about liberation. So Ishvara is the only principle that is non-changing. That's why the Turiya state is connected to, when we are in that state where we are connected to the Ishvara, then the breath automatically becomes very long, very smooth, in the state of what is called Kevala Kumbhaka. This is the summary of the sutra that Patanjali is presenting, Bhakya Abhyantara Vishayakshepi Chaturtaha, where he is asking us that, reminding us that, okay, there are some of us who can practice the Desha, Kala, Sankhya, Pranayamas and all that, but some of you who are believers of Ishvara, who are able to engage with Ishvara, relate with Ishvara, the mind and the senses will become quiet, the prana will become dirgha and sukshma automatically, and that state is called Kevala Kumbhaka. Tataha Chiyate Prakasha Varanam Dharana Sucha Yogyata Manasaha. The next two sutras are presenting the benefits or consequences of mastery of pranayama. Tataha means as a consequence. Tataha pranayama jaye. When you have mastered pranayama. When have you mastered pranayama? When dirgha and sukshma are achieved. When dirgha and sukshma are achieved. Prakasha avaranam kshiyate is the most amazing concept, and I like it so much because what Patanjali says is so profound. The veil that covers our light disappears. It's very fascinating. Āvārana means like a veil, a cover, an envelope. There is an envelope that covers our light. Prakasha means light. That disappears. And this is very fascinating because many people think that some people have light, some people don't have light. But when you understand this sutra very clearly, Patanjali is so clearly saying, we all have light, but some of us have put a veil to that light. So light is not given by an external person to you. Your teacher is not giving you light. The light is already there. The teacher's job is to remove that veil. He gives you some practices or techniques that removes that veil. The light is already within you. You don't have lights coming from outside to inside. So, tataha kshiyate prakasha varanam. When you master pranayama, where prana becomes dirgha and sukshma, the veil that covers this light, that disappears. Now, both the commentators of Yogasutra and the great teachers of Hatha Yoga, they all explain that the veil that covers that light is basically because of what is called our karma vasanas. We are creating these blockages. So things like ego, we construct because of our karma vasanas. There are some impressions from our past. Somebody hurt you, somebody is saying that you are not good enough and blah blah blah. What do you want to do? You want to build an ego. I am good enough. I am great. I am this. I am that. Ego is a construct coming out of fear, coming out of insecurity. It's not real. So we construct this that covers, that hides the light. You are your own light. You can shine. You don't need others to give you permission to shine. The sun never asks anybody permission to shine. Some people complain, so hot, I am getting burned, sunburned. Sun says, get lost, that is your problem. My job is to shine. I will not shine because you don't like it. Bhishasma vātapavate bhisho deti suryaha. Sun is shining because it fears that if it doesn't shine, it is not doing its dharma. That's the only fear we should have. I am afraid I am not doing my dharma. My dharma means my capacity to be who I am. Sun is shining because it's afraid that if it does not shine, it is not doing its dharma. Bhisha asmat vatapavate. Wind is moving because if it doesn't move, it's afraid that it is not doing its dharma. The nature of wind is to move. You cannot say, oh, it's so windy, I don't want windy movement today. Wind means movement. You cannot say, wind don't move, but I want you, but I don't want that movement. This is what we tell people. I like you, but not this behavior of you. Go to hell, man. You have to accept the person completely. You are too extroverted. That is somebody's nature. Oh, you are so introverted. That is somebody's nature. We have to accept it. We cannot remove pieces of it. I like you, but your eyes look a little bit crooked. People talk like this, like nonsense. So, the dharma, I like you, but I want you to be accountant. Why should I be an accountant? If your predisposition is to be an engineer or a doctor, why should you be an accountant? But somebody decides that fate for you. That's not right. That all those kind of things create this veil that covers this darkness. That's why when we engage in the yoga process, all this veil will disappear. And it's not a bad thing if it disappears. And in that process of disappearing, some things will crack. Especially the ego will crack, will break down. Very painful. So what? That's the only way there can be evolution. Because when you look at a seed, when the seed becomes a plant, the shell has to crack. The shell cannot remain intact for the plant to grow. The same way your ego cannot be intact for you to transform. So don't think that pranayama practices are going to be just because breathing is long and smooth, you will be always relaxed. Some things will crack, your ego will crack. That's why in Hatha Yoga they say that in the spiritual process we go through 4 stages: Arambhavastha, Ghatavastha, Parichayavastha, Nishpatyavastha. In the second stage, already things will start shaking and things will start collapsing. It's part of our transformation process. We cannot have an easy ride always. But then the light will reveal itself because the veil is disappearing. And sometimes the veil is very stubborn veil. They are very stubborn. And please remember, partially the biggest fear we have is actually not the fear of death. It's actually the fear to be alive. You're always wondering what other people will say. You get afraid. I don't want to live my life because somebody will think this, somebody will. That's our biggest fear. So the moment light is coming little bit, the shells are cracking, we're like, no, I want to go back to my shell. We're afraid to break that because if we break that, we will reveal ourselves and actually live our life, which is a fear for many of us. So that's why this is very important sutra. And Patanjali is saying that your life is already within you. It's not somebody giving you that light. That light is going to light up your potential, your life, and that's going to happen. That's why people like Vyasa have said, Tapona Paramaha Pranayama. There's no greater detoxification process than Pranayama. Because the Pranayama will remove all the dirt that covers this light. All the veil, all the dirt that covers this light will be gone. And that is part of the problem. You cannot bring your previous form when you want to have the new form. When you want light, you have to embrace light, you cannot embrace darkness. So sometimes big changes will come. Maybe you have to change your job because that is not what is suitable for you. Maybe you have to change the place where you are living. Maybe you have to change the people you are living with because that is not suitable. That is also true. Families can be a big veil to our potential. Especially in many Indian families, people are controlling everybody. You should be that, you should be this. Already when a child is born, before the birth certificate is coming from the government office, parents are making deposit in engineering college or medical college. Child is not even named, the child has not even got his certificate, but the parents are deciding the fate. You will be doctor, you will be engineer, without even knowing what the child wants, without even asking the child what it can do, what it wants to do. So the veil is very old, but it has to crack. So that is why this concept is so important, because there is no light that we have to wait for from outside. We have to go inside. And that's why my father always used to say again and again, you don't have to learn to have light. You only have to unlearn certain things so that the light shines. You have to unlearn certain things. And sometimes the veil becomes the identity. Becomes the identity. I'll give you a very simple example. For a very long time, when my father was still alive, and from my own childhood, and even before I was born, my father always, every Sunday, would go to a restaurant called the New Woodlands Restaurant, that is in very near Music Academy. Every Sunday he would go, and when we were all born, we started going there as well. And there is one day, I was going to my house, and one man came, and he looked so familiar, but I had no idea who he was. And he asked me, "How are you, sir?" I said, "Good, sir. How is your father? How is your mother? How is your daughter? How is your brother?" Yeah, he knew everything about our family, and I was wondering, who the hell is this? I could not place who the hell it was. come home and I still don't know who that is, and I cannot explain to anybody who that is and ask them, because how will I explain? Oh, somebody knows us, but I don't know who that is. Next Sunday we go to Woodlands Hotel restaurant, and suddenly it all falls into place. Because then I realized this man is the waiter in the restaurant. But why I could not recognize this man was because in my whole life, from my childhood, I've only seen him in that restaurant wearing this uniform, brown color uniform, which has this New Woodlands logo here. And I have not seen him with any other clothes. And in the street, he was wearing normal clothes. I could not recognize. This is what mind does, the ego. When you get used to some ideas, it thinks that that is the reality. Parents say, you do this, you're a good person, you do this, you're a good person, you do this, you're a good person. You start doing it because you want that good person title. That is what you become. You don't become who you are. So, you have to be engineer, you have to be engineer. So the poor boy becomes an engineer. 45 years later, when he retires, he says, oh my God, what did I do with my life? So, this is why the light is not shining. And you don't have to learn to shine the light, you just have to unlearn, remove these clothes that we have put on as masks. This uniform of Woodlands Hotel you have to remove and be yourself. Otherwise, we are in trouble. So that is what Pranayama, the Dirgha and Sukshma will do, where slowly and systematically it removes this veil. Hatha Yoga says beautifully that the practice of Pranayama is the only way, along with mantra, to remove the karma vasanas, the effect of the karma vasanas. If you don't do that, there is no point in doing other things. You have to do pranayama with mantra, Samasampraka pranayama. And to that point, I will come a bit later in a moment. So that is what is the concept of tataha kshiyate prakasha varanam. The light that is inside our heart, that will reveal itself. You don't have to search light outside. That light is already inside. All we have to do is unlearn or unpeel the layers of the ego. And that is what pranayama will slowly and systematically do. But the process is not going to be always comfortable. Apart from that, dharanasu cha yogyata manasa. Cha means and. Apart from that one benefit, that light will reveal. Dharana suja yogyata manasa, the mind, manaha, yogyata becomes fit, becomes eligible for dharana, for meditation. So, mind becomes fit for meditation when there is dirgha and sukshma, because a toxic mind cannot meditate. A distracted mind cannot meditate. Mind that has distraction will create shortness of breath, disturbance of breath, so dirgha and sukshma is not there. But when dirgha and sukshma is there, the reverse is implied, your mind will become very quiet. So dharana is the state of meditation, the starting step, after which comes dhyanam and samadhi, all that will follow as a consequence. But all that will come only when there is this dirgha and sukshma. This is one very important idea here. That's why in all traditional practices of meditation, whether it is as simple as or as common as the Sandhya Vandana or any other form of mantra japa or any other rituals, you first do pranayama as a preparation. The pranayama becomes a preparation for any of this. If you don't do that, you are not fit for this. Because the mind needs to be quiet to meditate, to focus, to concentrate. The mind cannot be disturbed and jumping from here and there. That's only one reason. There's another reason. Oh, the previous sutra I said to you that the pranayama is cleaning our system of toxins. Now, before you clean the toxins, you do meditation practices, what will happen? The toxins will be nourished. So, by doing meditative practices, when the breath is not controlled, which means the mind is not cleaned of the toxins, in a way we are nourishing the dark in us. That's why when you look at the history of Hindu mythology, Vedic mythology, you see so many of these so-called demons. They were all practitioners of meditation, they were practitioners of mantra and all that, but one thing they forgot, to clean their system. And therefore, the prana nourishes the dark seeds. See, prana will not discriminate. The sun is shining, and because of that all plants are growing. The sun does not say, I will shine on good plants but not toxic plants. I will only shine on good countries but not bad countries. Sun does not discriminate. The same way prana does not discriminate. Whatever needs life, it will give life. So if it's something positive seeds, it will give life. If it's something negative, it will give life. It doesn't discriminate. So that's why the cleaning is so essential before you become fit for meditation. Dharana sutta yogyata manasaha. Yogyata means a fitness or an eligibility. Your eligibility criteria is that you have cleaned your system first of toxic seeds so that the dark is not nourished. Actually, light is nourished. So that's why these two are presented in such an important way. But pranayama is a fundamental preparation for the following practices like dharana, dhyana and samadhi, because they are very, very potent and they will manifest things that you don't want manifested. Then you are in trouble. It's like the farmer. Before he plants the seeds that he wants to grow, he is weeding out all the parasite plants, all the other things in the soil, so that that is not growing, which is actually an enemy to the seeds he will be planting. The same way, we need to clean that structure at various levels. At various levels, physical, psychological, spiritual, etc., so that the dark seeds are not nourished. And that's why Vyasa again and again reminds us, tapona paramaha pranayama. There is no greater tapas than pranayama. In continuation of this commentary, Ācārya Krishnamacharya says, sa eva yukta ahara vihara sameta samantraka pranayama mahimna eva bhavati. All these two consequences that we have seen, Tataha kshiyate prakasha avaranam and dharanascha yogyata manasa, these two benefits of pranayama, they happen only because of two reasons as well. Two prerequisites. Yukta ahara vihara sameta. That means you have to have a proper diet and lifestyle. You have to have a very healthy diet and healthy lifestyle. So that's where some vairagyam is needed, because you have to let go of something. You cannot say, oh, I will do pranayama, I will do mantra japa, but every day I will drink 1 can of Coke. I eat 3 slices of chicken, and I will do very bad lifestyle. I will not sleep early, I will sleep very late. That's not going to help. You have to have appropriate diet, appropriate lifestyle, sameta, along with that. Samantraka pranayama mahimna eva bhavati. And the pranayama you should do, must usually be samantraka. Because mantra is what gives the power to prana. It's the way in which we are engaging with prana. So if you remove mantra, you are not working with prana, you are working only with breath, inhale and exhale. Whereas when you work with mantra, you are working with prana. And that's why these two parameters are so important, and we have to put that also into perspective. Pranayama, mastery of pranayama does not just mean you are doing some pranayama techniques every day for 3 hours, but then having bad lifestyle, bad diet, all those kind of things. Mastery of pranayama also is dependent on all these other factors like lifestyle and diet. If you remove lifestyle and diet, you are not really contributing to the success of these practices. So that's why the abhyasa and vairagyam is very important. You practice the abhyasa like pranayama, the asana, etc. But you also have to give up some things like bad food, bad lifestyle, all those kind of things you have to let go. And this is very, very important. That's why in the Indian tradition also, they would also say that when you eat food, one of the ways to make it appropriate is by reciting some mantra to purify the food of its toxins. Because you don't know where the food is coming from, who is making the food, whether the food was stolen and sold, whether somebody was cheated and stole. So if all that is there, there is some bad energy in the food, which you have to change. That's why you are doing something called pariseshanam, where you are purifying the food by reciting some mantras and sprinkling some water at the same time, so that the toxic energy from the food is also removed. That is also part of yukta. It's not just that you eat organic chips because it's organic, and that is healthy food. You have to purify the food spiritually also, so that it is devoid of anything toxic. So all these are the things that we have to keep in consideration for the success in pranayama. So this is the summary of these 3 sutras. Bhakya abhyantara vishayakshepi chaturtha tataha kshiyate prakashavaranam dharanasu cha yogyata manasaha. Namaste.